Arroz Gandules. Let's talk about it. A plate of rice so nice, you had to get it twice. Alright, so here we have our chuletas, aka pork chops. So I got a thin cut of them, bone in, thin cut pork chop. So what we're gonna do with them here is we're gonna marinate them, and what I'm gonna marinate them in is some adobo, classic, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano. So we got about a quarter of a cup here, and so what we're gonna do is throw that in there, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get these things marinated up. Also, sazon, gotta have it. So we're gonna be in here. You could either use the whole packet, you could use, just half. I'm gonna use all of it, just because. And then we're gonna throw some oregano in there. Marinate these really good and well. And we're gonna put them in the refrigerator for probably about 30 to 45 minutes to let this stuff just sit in there and just let all these flavors come together. Okay, so here in our pot, we're gonna put about 2.5 tablespoons of oil. We're gonna put some summer sausage and some ham chunks in here. So what we're making here is arroz gandules. So it's yellow rice with, if you say it in English, pigeon peas, but it's more like a lentil family. But in Latin, it's arroz gandules. So we're gonna use this summer sausage and some ham here to bring out more flavor. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cook this in here, and then what we're gonna do is bring that and cook it down some more, and then we'll come back and check on it about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, as you can see, we got a nice golden brown color on that there. Next, we're gonna add about 2 ounces of fresh sofrito. So I'll be making a video on that as well, how to make that. So we're gonna put that in there, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna get that nice, good and incorporated. All right, so this has been cooking down for about a minute here. And so the next step is to go ahead and get some pimentos and some olives in here. So that's what we're gonna do. About a teaspoon there, and then we got these Spanish olives. You gotta have the Spanish olives. We're gonna put a few in there. Okay. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna start incorporating that. Now our next step is we're gonna add about a quarter cup of tomato sauce in here. Maybe just a little bit more. Here you go. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna work that in. Move that around. What we're essentially doing here is building a base for the rice. So we're letting all these flavors come together, and this summer sausage and them ham chunks and these olives and the pimentos and the sofrito is building nothing but a big, awesome flavor profile. So our next step we're gonna come in here with is we're gonna throw a little bit of sazon, about a packet of sazon. Our next step is we're gonna throw us a bay leaf in there. And then we're gonna throw a little bit of garlic powder in there. Probably about a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon. And then some pepper, about the same, about a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon. And then we're gonna mix these flavors in here together and keep on working the flavor profile. Now we're gonna add our Arroz Con Gandules with the liquid because it has flavoring in there. And then we're just gonna put a little bit of salt. Probably about a teaspoon. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna mix this all in together. Now, also what I was gonna mention was that not everybody uses ham or sausage in their arroz con gandules. So I've ate it both ways. This just brings more of a flavor profile, a little bit more meat in there, you know, a little bit more heartiness if you want to call it that. But it's good both ways without any of the sausage or ham chunks. Just doing it with olives and the gandules and the other flavor profile and seasonings are just fine. But we're gonna let this right here mix in and let it do its thing for just a few minutes. And then what we're gonna do, I have some rice over here sitting, and what we're gonna do is rinsed and drained, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna add that in there. All right, so we let this sit. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna come in here with our rice. Like I said, I've rinsed it. It's been cleaned, you know. And so a lot of people don't do it this way. They already have their water in there. But this way here, the rice is like a sponge. It's gonna absorb all these flavors. So I'm gonna do it this way. It's the way I know how to do it. So what's gonna happen, we're gonna mix all these together, and then what's gonna happen, we're gonna let this sit for about a minute, and we're gonna let this all marinate together and all those flavors get into this rice. And then what we'll do, we'll come back and add some more water to it. All right, now we got that going. We let it sit for about a minute. Now we're gonna add some of this water. And so remember, you had that liquid from the arroz con gandules, and this way you can see what you got going on. If it's gonna be too much liquid, if it's not gonna be too much liquid. You don't wanna overdo it with liquid, because what happens is that when you get it too much liquid in there, what's gonna happen is that you'll end up with mushy rice. And you don't want mushy rice. We want nice, fluffy rice. You know, we want our rice to be done. We don't want it to be overcooked, undercooked. We want it to be just right. So, you know, you want to make sure that you get a good amount. So I have a cup and a half of water over here. I just wanted to get a little bit in there just to see what we were looking like. And so we're gonna go from there, add just a little bit more. And there we go. So now what we're gonna do, that we got it there, we're gonna let it come to a simmer. And from there, what we'll do, we'll cover it for about 5 minutes and let those flavors come together and let that rice absorb the liquid, and we'll see what we're looking like. You can see it's been about 5 minutes, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here. About 80% or more of the liquid is absorbed, so which is a good thing. And so a lot of times if you have too much liquid, you know, you have to let it cook longer, but then you come out with soggy and mushy rice. But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna turn the heat down to a medium low, and then we're gonna let it cook for about another 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and check on that. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. I checked my rice, everything is good. I'm gonna remove it from the heat and let it sit, and then we're gonna move on to making these pork chops, aka chuletas. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we got our pan heating up a little bit, and what I'm gonna do, I got a little bit of a canola oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you want. We're not deep frying these. You just want enough oil just to cover the bottom to fry these chuletas. Okay, now like I said, what we're gonna do, I was just waiting for that oil to heat up just a little bit more. We're gonna put these pork chops in here. And, you know, I'm gonna cook mine about 4 minutes on each side. If you got a heat thermometer, a meat thermometer, you can use that. And so I only got 4 of them here. So I'm gonna put these first 3 in here, and then we're gonna cook those down. You can see we flipped them, got them cooking on the other side now. A plate of rice so nice, you had to get it